Ladies and gentlemen, Chuck Grassley and Ron Johnson have uncovered a $100,000 payment. This is according to two senators within the United States. This is democracy. This is American democracy. This is a Fox News article. A couple hours ago, Senators Grassley Johnson alleged $100,000 payment from oligarchs. Okay? To Hunter. Now, there are numerous articles the past 2 years from the New York Post backing this up. Not just with the $100,000 payment, but numerous New York Post articles and other articles talking about his business dealings basically with Chinese companies and extremely wealthy individuals. Now that is just one of the many countries that President Mashed Potato Brains and his son and the brother of our president derived money from, or acquired or derived or obtained large sums of money from. $100,000 is really nothing compared to the money he was making at the oil and gas company where he was a board of directors at, in a country now being invaded under our beloved president's watch. But here, really quickly, if you read, if there are people saying, well, what does this have to do with the Durham probe? If Jake Sullivan, which is a direct link, or the law firm that Michael Sussman worked at, the indicted attorney, if there's any indirect or direct link between the Durham probe, people who set up and framed Trump or who spread lies about Trump, so Jake Sullivan, for example, the current national security advisor, and also a very high-level official within Biden's campaign and Clinton's campaign, if, for example, when he was spreading nonsense about Alpha Bank, because Michael Sussman obtained all that information and then allegedly lied to James Baker, which is why he was indicted. So there are 3 indictments within a Department of Justice special counsel run by John Durham. Notice how nobody talks about this in the media. They were, Mueller time. There's no Durham time for Democrats. Mueller time found nothing. Durham time found 3 indictments directly related to setting up and framing Trump. But if there's any link between the news stories that we're seeing now and the congressional investigations, now just imagine when Trump Republicans take the House and Senate. Just imagine. But if there's any link, I'll read you this. William Barr's order goes further in 2 key important respects. This is the article in Lawfare. First, it gives Durham a sweeping mission statement. Under Barr's appointment order, Durham is authorized to examine whether any federal official, employee, or any other person or entity violated the law in connection with the intelligence, counterintelligence, or law enforcement activities directed at the 2016 presidential campaigns, individuals associated with those campaigns, and individuals associated with the administration of President Donald J. Trump, including but not limited to Crossfire Hurricane and the investigation of Special Counsel Robert S. Mueller III. Jake Sullivan falls within that sweeping, broad, all-encompassing mission statement. So does Michael Sussman and his law firm. If that law firm or Sullivan have anything to do with Hunter, guess what? That's fair game in terms of the special counsel investigating Hunter's business transactions, which are endless. I mean, you have numerous impeachments within, like, President exhumed body will be impeached from these emails. He'll be impeached from these emails. You'll have Trump Republicans in the House and the Senate. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. We're almost at 196,000 subs. People, to my new Patreons, thank you. If you want to support my work, my Patreon is below. But ladies and gentlemen, read the article below in the Federalist. I predicted the stock market crash that we're going to see, unfortunately, it will be imminent. We're going to see a devastating stock market crash. You can't have food shortages, runaway inflation, gas prices and energy prices through the roof, heading into a recession with an inverted yield curves, and all of these financial and economic problems and the market is still close to all-time highs or relatively overvalued, still extremely overvalued, down from when I wrote my article, obviously, last October, but still at, levels where a crash is imminent. Read that article in the Federalist where I predict all of these economic hurdles and obstacles in this catastrophe we face. That's below in the pinned comment. I wrote that last October in 2021. But hit subscribe to this channel. Word of mouth is the best thing possible. If you enjoy my work, tell your friends, tell people who might enjoy this channel, and I appreciate your support. Senator Grassley Johnson alleged $100,000 payment from Chinese oligarch to Hunter. Provide receipts, hard to deny, or sweep under the rug. Okay. The Twitter, Dorsey, and all the Twitter brass deliberately, not accidentally, deliberately, almost certainly deliberately, swept this, under just prevented discussion, dialogue, and discourse to go to bat for the Democratic Party. That's how they do things. That's how they fabricate consensus. That's how they silence and end any discussion or debate about corruption within their political party. They have quote-unquote people engaging in their First Amendment rights and our democracy. They just happen to call everything that's a corruption issue or story. They label that as disinformation from the Kremlin. Anything. They'll go after anyone. Tulsi Gabbard, Trump, Bernie Sanders, who was cheated, and then they blamed Vladimir for informing the world that Bernie Sanders was cheated. Anything that they don't like is obviously an attempt by the Kremlin to let you know how corrupt they are. Any horrible story, whether it's Hunter or Madam Secretary, and I want a Clinton-Trump rematch 2024, any negative story, Bernie Sanders being cheated, it's always the fault of another country wanting you to know, influencing you. How are they influencing you? By letting you know how corrupt they are. Don't you understand? Other countries they're so afraid of the Democratic Party. This is the mentality that the Durham probe is investigating with its investigation of the Steele dossier and the Sussman indictment and the Danchenko indictment and Kleinsmith indictment and all of these government officials and operatives setting up and framing Trump, not just looking into national security issues. It wasn't a national security issue. They had no evidence for Trump to be investigated, zero, other than the evidence purchased by his direct political rivals. But you look, and anything that goes against their narrative, anything that exposes their corruption, any story that highlights, like New York Post 2021, Chinese Titan lavished Hunter with 3-carat gem. Hunter sought forever deal with Chinese firm. New York Post, emails reveal how Hunter tried to cash in big. This is October of 2020. Okay, we know about this. On behalf of family with Chinese firm, we've known about this for 2 years. The New York Post has done all this reporting. And now senators in Congress they have the receipts. They're providing everyone with the receipts. We knew about this 2 years ago, but media would not let us talk about this. And if any activity against Trump was also intended to cover up any controversy regarding the president's son, then that's where you get the blue dress type of thing. Ken Starr initially investigated Watergate and then finds out that, oh my goodness, I can't believe you put 2 and 2 together, or 2 and 5 together, or 2 and whatever. You get an investigation about Whitewater, and then you end up with a blue dress in the Oval Office. Oh, they did me wrong. So don't think that Hunter and his nonsense isn't directly linked through Jake Sullivan or through that law firm that purchased the Steele dossier on behalf of the Democratic Party that now works for the Biden administration. Don't think that there's no link. There are numerous indirect links or possibly direct links. Give me your thoughts below. Ron Johnson and Chuck Grassley should look at the various links. Give me your thoughts. Thank you. Hit subscribe.